You said that you used to participate in sex work as a struggling actress.
Yep.
You want to be the example of why women should not engage in sex work.
Yep.
So what do you mean by sex work? Are you talking about escorting? What are you talking about?
Oh man, so this is all before OnlyFans. OnlyFans didn't really become a thing until only a few years ago. Back then, it sounds like forever ago, but it really is in technology. It was around 2017 and 2018. Every woman, whether corporate or she's working in a restaurant, had a sugar daddy. Everybody did. It was the norm.
What?
Yes. It was the norm. You would meet women, and here's what's scary about this. You would meet women that would be working in 9-to-5 corporate jobs. They'd be working in HR. They'd be in relationships for 2+ years. I would go out to dinner with them. We'd be talking, and she goes, "Oh no, I've had a guy who's been paying my rent for the last few years." And you'd be in disbelief. Why would you have that? But I guess in the contrary is, why wouldn't you have that? So at that time, as an actress, struggling, and I had really horrible.
Do you ever ask a question and then regret asking it?
Just let's let her finish. But yes.
Sorry, my bad. That was me.
No. It's okay. I made strides against you. So, what was the original question?
Well, like, what kind of sex work?
Yeah.
So prostitution.
Yeah, so seekingarrangements.com. I don't know if that's still around right now.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's still around? I thought it was banned.
No.
So Seeking Arrangements was a big thing. And so every girl that I knew, whether she was like acting or modeling alongside with me, working in restaurants, which you do as a struggling actress, you are a glorified
How old are you?
bartender. I was 19.
Okay.
I was 19, 20. And everybody said, go on Seeking Arrangements. You want your rent paid, you go on Seeking Arrangements. And everybody always alludes to this idea. They go, girl, you don't have to do anything. Just go on dates and you get money out of it. And I go, oh, so I get a steak, I get a filet mignon, $500, and I don't have to like fuck the guy? Well, that's the perception that they give you. But the reality is that that's not the truth. And maybe it starts out that way, but the reality is if you actually have a sugar daddy, you have to fuck him.
Did you, so you had sex with your sugar daddy?
Yeah, I did.
Did you have more than one sugar daddy?
I think over the course of the time that I had multiple men that were like, you know, they were never long term. The men that I would be speaking to.
I think,
had something?
Yeah, so being as somebody that actually works in the sex industry, I'm an adult performer. I've been doing it since I was 18. I've been doing OnlyFans. If I had a sugar daddy, I don't think that's sex work, quite honestly. Like
But it is.
you're having sex and you're getting paid willingly. That's the
called
arrangement.
sex work.
That's the arrangement. But that doesn't mean that you are selling yourself openly and freely. I don't know. Maybe I'm just assuming. But I don't think qualifying it and quantifying it as this is exactly sex work doesn't really check.
How is that? That's the very definition. You're getting paid to have sex
What
with
I'm saying
men.
is it's an
How is that not
I'm saying it's
sex work?
what you're describing it as is an arrangement between you and someone with whom you met online, such as a dating app, and you're stating that I hung out with them. I presume that I was just going to get everything taken care of. In addition to that, I was paid for having sex. Yes, that's technically a job.
Yeah, that's called
But
sex work.
What I'm stating.
Yeah, I don't see a way around that.
Okay, then fine.
That's
If it-
that's
Thank you,
definitely
Andrew.
prostitution,
Finally,
isn't
fucking
it?
Christ.
But like you're stating it as though it was like your full occupation. Like that's where I'm just so confused. Like
Wasn't ever my full occupation. You know what? Well, no. I'll let
like
you
do
finish.
get
I don't
what-
want to
like,
interrupt.
As somebody that actually performs sex work and like that's what I'm saying. Like
Actually perform.
like somebody who's
sorry.
actively in it. So you removed yourself from it. You're in
I
technical
have.
sales right
So
now.
that does not
But what
reduce the time that I was in
but
it.
she's in it now. That's
I
what
am.
she
Yeah,
said.
so
what
I'm
I'm
saying
saying
that
as
she's
someone
currently.
who's currently and actively in sex work, what I'm
Okay.
asking is, how do you quantify that so differently from what I separately do, or just generally? Because right now you're just generalizing. I did sex work because I got paid to have sex with some random guy. Okay, so what more of it? Like you're trying to say, oh, like I want to help other people understand sex work.
Yeah.
There's multiple meanings to it. I completely agree.
Yeah.
I don't think sex work is fit for anybody.
Yeah.
But I just find it really eluding and weird that you're just stating, oh, it's just a bad thing and I did this. Like,
Yeah.
get to the fucking point about it.
That's exactly the fucking point about it. is that it's sex work and it's bad and it's horrible and it's soul crushing for women, and anything that you hear is I'm sorry, it's just not true. I want to ask every woman that is engaged in active sex work, do they know their father? And are they close with their father? And do they have a good relationship with their father? No. I want to ask this because you know what? I was a woman.
Not to cut you off, sorry.
No,
I
go
do
ahead.
have an active relationship with my father. My father
Is it a
actually-
good one?
Yeah, actually. I grew up really well with my father. I actually, unfortunately, was introduced to that style of content prior as a young child because of certain circumstances as a child. But regardless, my father actually really supports me. Ironically, my mother did not support me for the longest time. I'm a Mexican and I'm a white. I'm half and half. My mom is very Mexican Catholic, and for that reason, she doesn't support it. But regardless, my father has always supported me. He supported me from the moment I started working with Penthouse, when I first did my very first magazine with them, the moment that I did shoot with Hustler. He was very ecstatic, not because he was interested in it, not because he was sexualizing
Okay, that's
himself,
really weird,
but
though. That's really weird that your father's
supported-
excited that you were in Hustler. That's a
You-
very
you can-
weird
you can
thing
try
to be
antagonizing
excited
and
for. I'm
everything.
not antagonizing.
But
I'm
what
just
I'm-
asking. I'm
what
just
I'm
like, it's a
saying-
very weird thing. My daughter's in Hustler.
We're
Fuck
not supposed
yeah,
to
that's
talk about certain
weird.
conversations, which is fine. But as a younger girl,
Yeah.
what I was always expressed to growing up from my father's side, because I have separated parents, was
Naturally.
that the natural human body, woman and man, is very beautiful, and that is something that I still stand with.
Wait, why would you say
I don't
naturally
know,
to her parents being separated?
because I'm Mexican white, or what are you presuming? Because
No,
you're not-
definitely not Mexican and white, but that's funny that went that way. No, because you're in sex work. So usually it's probably not a two-party household you grew up with.
I actually know
There's
a
probably
lot
a
of
divorce.
different actresses in the sex community who
They have
their parents together.
they have a mom and dad. That is their biological mom and dad.
Do you know the
that are
statistics of
married
it? Do you-
together? I've read and I've seen and I've witnessed and I know many people.
I'm just like, you have no statistics of it. You're just using background knowledge and assumption.
Yeah, I am.
Yes, my parents are separated. My parents are separated because they literally just could not fucking handle each other. That's all it really was. They were never even in
Well,
a
that's
married
typical, yeah.
relationship. Regardless, if that's your presumption of that every single sex worker
I'm not even
comes from a
leftist.
separated family, then so fucking be it. But it doesn't seem to say that regardless that you have any reason to bicker at and fight at that, oh, she has a terrible relationship with her father. I'm clearly a fucking person out here saying, no, I have a great relationship with my father.
Yeah, your dad
He's-
loved you in Hustler.
What the fuck is your problem? Because clearly what I'm stating
Nothing-
is
I'm-
the back essence of why he supported me, why that was being supported by my father, not my mother. My father taught me from a very fucking young age that, hey, all women bodies are beautiful. Why? Because my grandmother herself also always taught him that. She was a single mother. It came down from the realms of, she was always teaching him one knowledge and he taught himself to me. At the end of the day, obviously, no parent wants their child in sex work. No parent.
Well,
I
it sounds like
understand.
your father did.
He was just supporting her
He
because
was
she's a
supporting
grown
her.
up,
'Cause
and
I'm
she
an
saw
adult.
she was in a thing and said,
Thank you.
"That's what she's doing. She's a grown up, and I support it." And she said it wasn't sexual,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he wasn't interested in it. He was just encouraging her because it's his daughter.
No,
who's
that's
a
good.
person.
Yeah, but dude, that's weird. Would you encourage your daughter to do that?
No, but if I didn't have any say in it, I'd kind of like to keep a relationship with them as tumultuous as it might be.
Exactly.
Would
I-
you be
that's
proud of
problematic.
your
Why would you
daughter
wanna
being in
keep
Hustler?
wouldn't it be better to let them feel the sting of it and kind of separate yourself?
I'm not
from-
dad. I like to think of the dad that I would be, where I would go, all right, because like my sisters date guys I don't like, and that's been my whole life. And my rule on it, and you can disagree because I'm not a dad, so I can't speak to this too well, but I always go, that's who she's with. Well, I'm just gonna bear with this, and I speak my
Yeah,
opinion.
but there's a distinction there, right? So if you say,
Right.
well, I can't control who my daughter goes out with and
Right.
dates and things like that, versus my daughter's going on to Hustler. Don't you think there's a huge?
He didn't hang the
distinction to be
poster in
made?
his living room.
No, and
he
he
just
might
kept
as
a
well.
relationship with her. I think she was defending the relationship with her dad because she was said, well, naturally, you must have a terrible relationship with your dad to do these sort of things.
No, I said naturally they're separated and they are.
But you started it by saying, I'd like to ask every girl that does sex
Yeah.
work,
Which-
Yes,
do
and
you
I
know
do.
your dad? And you said it in a very strange way. She was saying, yeah,
and
well,
what's
I know
your
my
relationship with
dad.
your father,
And
and then
Well,
you
that's because
and you were
the stats bear out that many sex workers,
don't know
in
what
fact,
the
the majority of them do come from broken households.
They do.
And if you're a single mom, you're far more likely to be a sex worker. In fact,
You are.
So these are things which are brought up. I don't think out of hand. Right?
I don't think so
they're
either.
not.
No, all
She's explaining it. That's all.
Now,
I think
now
all I'm
they're
stating-
on our side, Andrew. Keep going.
Okay, all I'm stating is obviously, yes, my father did support me in the sense, just as he stated, because he wanted a relationship with me. The reason I actually am so grateful and beyond blessed that I even have a support from my father is because I immediately left the house with my mom. I was living out there, and she was already upset with me over certain other circumstances. For that reason, I left, and I decided this is the way and the means that I'm going to arrive to adulthood. I'm going to partake in this, not something that I even agreed with. I grew up in a full Catholic household with my mother. Nonetheless, I never had a relationship with my father as a child at one point.
Well, there we go, bingo.
Never's an exception. Okay.
Literally what I was saying,
No.
but yeah.
The reason I didn't
Don't
have
you think it's a bit rude
I
to
think it's very rude and
laugh at somebody who just said
the
what
reason
she
I did
said?
not have
Yeah,
a relationship.
literally.
The
Yeah,
reason I
probably.
did not have a relationship with my father during high school was because my father was
not
diagnosed
something
with
you
a brain
laugh.
tumor. He was not.
he was what I'm
He
saying.
was diagnosed with a brain tumor. I was not able to fucking see him because he was literally in the hospital all fucking day, all fucking time. So that's actually one of the reasons I was not able to see my father.
During your childhood?
I said, no, I said childhood. I said high school. I corrected myself.
Oh,
and I
okay,
said
okay.
high school.
That is childhood. To be.
It is.
Okay,
But
okay.
regardless, to be laughing and trying to poke at the bear and saying,
Never.
"Oh, this is the norm," it's not. My circumstance was not the norm. My father was diagnosed with a fucking brain tumor. That's not normal. It shouldn't be normalized.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
sad. It's
Yeah,
heartbreaking.
yeah. It's horrible.
It's also hard to to try to diagnose her like you're doing. So it's like
Not at all.
Well, in a way you are.
No.
Verbally you are, and socially you are. It's
No.
just and also to go well, yeah, statistically, statistically, lots of people aren't with two-parent homes. So you
lot
can't
of
just
people
go,
don't
oh,
have
we
stable
found the
homes.
reason. You said bingo when she said that she didn't have
Yes.
that's you can't go big.
Why not?
Having two parents doesn't magically make you have a great life.
Statistically, it does.
But
No,
as
it really
in a lot of
doesn't
ways
at
you
all.
could.
Statistically,
I'm
it
just saying
does.
you can't just say it like
Because you have
as
two.
blanketly as you're
Statistically,
doing
it
It's
does.
crazy.
No, statistically is wrong because if you have two parents in a household does not mean it's healthy at all.
Well,
Like,
it's
there's
more
a
likely
lot-
to be, yes.
In a lot of ways.
Exactly.
It's
Thank
more
you.
likely that
Oh,
if
but
you
now
come
it's
from
a
an
lot
intact
of ways.
two-parent
So when a guy's,
household,
when
your
Andrew
chances
says
of
it, it's not a lot of
criminology,
ways. Are
your
you
chance of
subscribed
sex
to
work, your
Emily?
chance of
Let
any
him
of these
talk.
things
Sorry, Andrew.
drastically decrease.
Sorry, Andrew. I didn't mean to cut you
I
off.
don't think we got any of what Andrew said.
Yeah, I'm
No,
sorry.
I
I
was just,
totally
I'm
cut you off.
sorry. I was just saying that she is right that if you come from a intact two-parent household, your chances of criminology, your chances of all of these things
chances.
drastically reduce. And this includes your chances of being involved in sex work.
Well, then maybe explain it better.
I was
If
just
you're
gonna
upset that I'm
say.
agreeing with him, maybe you, instead of condescendingly going, bingo, doesn't have a dad, and not even looking at her in the
Literally.
eye when she's talking about brain tumors and things, you can understand why people have this reaction to the way you're speaking.
Right.
It's pretty,
Abrasive.
Rude.
pretty
It's a tone issue.
Abra-
It's really
very
abrasive.
immature is what it is.
Oh,
It is. It's not a nice way to talk about people.
okay.
You don't know her.
No.
I don't have any,
No, but I
any
kn- but I know-
positive
but I
opinions
know
about sex
of
work
her.
either, but I can still respect a
But I
person
know of her.
in
Wait,
a room.
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
And I'm not asking this as a form of attack or insult, but purely out of curiosity and inquiry. And again, I'm not trying to ask this to be insulting or prying or whatever. Do you have any cluster B personality disorders?
Totally, probably. Yeah.
Like BPD, borderline personality
Probably,
disorder?
yeah. Bingo.
Bingo.
Well, what does
Bingo.
that mean, probably?
Bingo.
He's asking
No,
asking
have you been
specifically, like,
diagnosed?
have you been diagnosed? Have you
No,
been
not
diagnosed with
officially,
it?
no.
Not officially.
No.
Unofficially? How would you unofficially
I'm
diagnose?
diagnosing.
Do you take any?
She's diagnosed,
Do you
but I
take?
can't diagose her with a single family, causing her to be on OnlyFans.
Are you bipolar?
No, I'm not. I don't actually. No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist.
Well, that's why we're thinking troll, because we're
I
trying to
really
figure
do
out
think
how to
troll.
talk
I
to
agree.
you. Or
I'm trying to. I don't know. I think I'm just engaging in conversation. You guys are trying to
You're
diagnose.
really not. You're just being rude to her
Yeah.
and everyone else.
I think it's like, regardless of like my job or whatever I do, whatever I'm doing now or not, I think it just shows your true personality and true intention is to actually troll, because whether or
There's
not
no
I'm saying
troll.
that I'm doing sex work or I'm a fucking construction worker for something, I just actively told
You
you
wouldn't
guys
be.
and I confided in you guys and the internet that my father had a brain tumor. Instead of looking at me and actually showing me any sort
Human
of
compassion.
compassion or remorse for your words that you already had previously stated for whatever reason, you just said, sorry.
Bingo.
Bingo.
Like, that's rude as fuck.
That's bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, but who the fuck thinks like that? Other than a fucking troll.
Well, I don't know. Like, I can't see you guys, but some of the points that she made were valid points. I'm
Thank
gonna
you,
admit it. I
Andrew.
mean, she made some valid points.
Thank you, Andrew.
I think you can find statistics for those things. Yes, I agree with the statistics. The statistics.
what?
I don't agree with the way she's conducting.
Exactly.
Talking to her like she's
So that's
a
all.
statistic
That's all I
is
was
weird.
commenting on.
Because
was
She is a
just-
person and she
She's
has her
really
own
not.
I think
life.
I completely agree, and I appreciate that so much because at the end of the day, yes, statistics does pertain to the number of people and pertain to the percentages of all these things out of a fucking outcome. But at the end of the day, this isn't just a statistics game. We're not on polls right now. We're not on little fucking pie charts.
We're people.
You're actually looking at me as a human being. You're looking at me as a fucking soul. So why don't you continue on and treat me properly with some sort of remorse and respect, because I'm sharing the reasoning for either my circumstances or my family life or my reasons for doing a job or anything of that sort. I haven't laughed or mimicked at you.
And I appreciate that.
You just continue being a cunt. That's practically what you are.
I feel like an apology is in order.
Not gonna get one from me.
That's fine.
I think in comedy sometimes people go like, "Oh, you're a comic. You must have things that are like, you must be real fucked up, right? You must have a crazy childhood, want to be a stand-up comic, you know?" And then we go, "Yeah, because you can find it with anything, right?"
Yeah.
And then you could do that with bread truck drivers. You could be like, the bread truck drivers come from divorced homes. Well, those statistics
Likely
have
probably
weight.
are.
But to just try to go blanketly bingo, her parents are separated, so she must want to
bingo,
masturbate
bingo,
for
bongo.
money. Doesn't make I don't think that's a bingo. Like I don't.
But it
not.
is. But it
You don't
is.
say
You're
something
really not
excited,
eating the way
like,
you think you
she's
are.
Not Quinn. I think
You're
you
really
mean
not.
like a psych evaluation.
Here's my analysis.
Yeah.
She is sort of reveling in her own, I suppose, a reverence. You're incredibly coarse. You're incredibly abrasive,
And
perhaps intentionally. You haven't just been rude to me. It seems like you've been rude to some of the other guests. Again, it's not clear to me though if you're doing it to troll. Like, why now you're
Okay,
shaking now she's shaking her head.
No, I'm listening. To
Oh,
say
you're-
this
you're-
is me,
oh,
this is me
okay.
liking.
I thought that was you nodding in
dude, that's
agreement.
like personality
One
disorder.
sec.
L sex work L dad W bipolar chick. The world doesn't owe you
Okay, maybe the
understanding.
chat is actually starting to. You're winning them over. Maybe. Wait,
She's winning me over. She's winning me over.
Andrew,
she's
I've been
winning
on
you
your
over,
side
bro.
since day one, Andrew.
Oh my.
Thank you.
Let's keep going.
Is
I
she-
think it's for attention.
Yo, Davon Jackson, good
You
to
have
see you
your
in the
tits
chat,
out.
bud.
What do you mean for attention?
Oh my gosh.
Who has
okay.
their tits out?
Here,
A, B, and C.
Most of the
A, B, and C.
last thing
a
on your
shirt.
notes here.
We're just
Rude
letters
blonde
right
is
now.
right.
ABC.